If only one person was the target in the Idaho 4 crimes, why take the lives of almost everyone in the house? Hey everyone, it's Lucky with Unfiltered Lucky. And today I want to talk a little bit about the idea that only one person was the target in this house and that 3 people just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Why take the lives of 4 people if you're only trying to get to 1? Was this plan that much of a disaster that whoever committed these crimes had to take 4 people's lives just to get to the one person who they were trying to target? Why not get this person while they were alone, maybe outside of the house? They say that Bryan Kohberger stalked these girls and was around the King Road house, or at least within a 10-mile radius of the King Road house. But they say that Bryan Kohberger was around this house at least 12 times. Supposedly it's all on video, but this is what I don't understand. If Bryan Kohberger was stalking these girls and watching their movements, then he would have discovered a time when this girl would have been their most vulnerable, maybe outside of the house. He may have chosen to, get to her when she was walking home from class or walking to her car. It would seem silly that he would think that the best time to get to this girl would be when she was at home and surrounded by her roommates. Not only that, but Ethan was also staying over that night. Why would the assailant, if they were alone, choose to make this a lot more difficult and a lot more risky by waiting until the house was full of people? Think about that. Let's say you wanted to get at someone. Would you wait until they were inside their own home that you're unfamiliar with, surrounded by 5 people, to go do it? Probably not. That seems like a recipe for disaster. That's a horrible plan. To me, it seems more likely that this was someone who had a problem with the whole house, obviously other than Dylan and Bethany. But I don't believe that there were people who were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Whoever committed these crimes was very intentional about it. And if these crimes happened the way that law enforcement believes that they happened, then this person could have left at any time. There was absolutely no interference. So the person or people who committed these crimes could have left after the first and second victims. But instead, they decide to take the lives of 2 more people on a different level. Whoever did this would have had to walk past 2 exits to get to Xana and Ethan. Steve Gonsalves said he didn't have to go up the stairs. He was already on the main level with easy exits. He was very intentional about going up to the 3rd level. Oh, and just a side thought. Has anybody ever noticed that in all of the interviews with anyone connected to this crime, they always refer to the perp in singular? They never even talk about the idea that there might have been multiple attackers. If you watched these interviews, they never say, person or people. They always talk about one assailant, and it's always a male. So they never really suggest that there may have been more than one, which seems really strange because that was my very first thought. was that these crimes were committed by more than one person. But in these interviews, they always just talk about one perpetrator. So I do think that whoever committed these crimes was very angry. And I do believe that they had intentions for all of these victims. Whether they started on the second level, on the main level, and went up to the third floor, or started on the third floor and went down, they were very intentional about getting to these people on different floors. They were very intentional about going to Xana's bedroom, and they were also very intentional about going to the third level, which they would have had to go out of their way to get to the third level. Do we know that they didn't have people over that night? We don't really know what happened between 2 a.m. and noon. So it's very possible that they could have had people over that night, having drinks and hanging out. I wonder if the victims were moved from where their lives were taken in the house. Maybe they were moved and put in the bedrooms to throw off law enforcement. I could understand if whoever did this may have been in the process of taking Maddie's life when they were discovered by Kaylee. So they had to take Kaylee's life as well. But as far as Ethan and Xana, unless they were moved from where their lives were taken, this perpetrator would have had to go intentionally into Xana's bedroom to get to Xana and Ethan, rather than just leave. When that suspect or perpetrator gets to the bottom of the stairs, they have two easy exits. They could have left out of either exit, but they don't. They head straight to Xana's bedroom. Not to mention, now they've walked past Dylan's bedroom door twice and not made any attempt to go into her bedroom. Whoever committed these crimes was very intentional about their movements. And that's why I don't believe that only one person was the target in this house. If the perpetrator started upstairs, as law enforcement believes that they did, then after taking Maddie and Kaylee's lives, they would have gone downstairs and had to walk across the living area to get to Xana's bedroom. They would have passed Dylan's bedroom door. They would have passed the stairs going down to Bethany's bedroom and intentionally walked to Xana's bedroom. Because they didn't really have to do that. They had two exits. Now, if they started on the second level, on the main level, they would have been very intentional about going up to the third level. There's no exits at the third level unless you're going to hop out of a window. But they would have been very intentional about going to that third level because it's kind of out of their way from their exits. Now, it appears that this perpetrator was not concerned that 911 had ever been called. This person was not concerned that the other two roommates, Dylan and Bethany, might call 911. It just didn't seem to concern them. They seemed to be moving around this house rather freely. But they also seem to know where they're going. You know, it's almost like they have an objective. Because when they enter the house, if they were just entering the house to take people's lives, they could have done it right there on the main level and still been around their exits. You know, had an easy exit out of the house. But they didn't do that. They chose to go out of their way and go upstairs to the third level, which to me it kind of tells me that whoever did this went in for 4 victims and not just one target. I believe that all of these victims were targeted. It's very strange that this perpetrator was able to get into this house and chose to go into Xana's bedroom as well as Maddie's bedroom. There was a lot of doors and a lot of rooms in between that this person could have gone into, but they didn't. They went to the 2 bedrooms that I believe they were targeting. Tell me what you think. Do you think that there was only one target in this house? Or do you think that it's possible that all of these victims were targeted and that this perpetrator's objective was to take the lives of these 4 victims? Please stay tuned for my next video, and thanks for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate it. And if you like my content, please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.